Hi guys, Amy here from Plans Meet Paper, and today I wanted to come on and share with you my top 5 tips for being successful and sticking with the FlyLady system, even if you have young kids. So for those of you who might be new to my channel, I have 2 little boys, a 2-year-old and an almost 3-month-old, and I started doing the FlyLady system about 3 years ago now. So my life has changed a lot throughout that time, and I've just kind of adapted the FlyLady method and made it work for me throughout all those different times of my life. So I just wanted to let you guys know some of the tips that I've picked up along the way for making it work with young children. So my first tip is to first love yourself, which is what the Fly in FlyLady stands for. And in order to do that with young kids, I highly recommend try your best to get up before your kids in the morning, which I know is super hard. My 2-year-old gets up really early these days, but I do try to get up before him so that I can do just a few things to kind of feed into myself, feed into my heart and my soul a little bit before the rest of the day starts. And that really sets me up for success. So some things that I do in the morning for myself are trying to work out, trying to have some Bible time or some reading time in general, and then just getting ready for the day, taking time to take a shower, do my hair, those kind of things just make me feel good and help me to be successful for the rest of the day. So that is my first tip. My second tip would be to create a morning routine that works for both you and for your children. So if you're familiar with the FlyLady system, there are several tasks that she recommends doing every day, typically in the morning, to set yourself up for a good day. So those are things like swish and swiping, cleaning your sink every day and getting all the dishes out of there, making your bed, just little things like that. But if you're a mom, you know it's sometimes hard to get things like that done in the morning if your kids don't have something to do at the same time. So I definitely recommend figure out a system, a method that will work for you and your kids to keep them engaged, working on something, entertained, while you're trying to get those tasks done on a daily basis. So there's lots of different ways to do that. I've seen some other great ideas out there. A strew, for instance, is where you kind of set up an activity or toy or something in an inviting way so that when they see it in the morning, it kind of invites them to play. I've seen a morning basket where you kind of have some activities or toys that are just for the morning time set aside, and they use that every morning. For me and my 2-year-old, we have some activities and toys upstairs right next to his room on a shelf, and so he wakes up in the morning and he chooses some things off of there. We take them into his room and get them set up, and he plays individually in his room for a few minutes in the morning, and he's totally used to that routine now and enjoys that morning playtime, and that gives me the time to get some of those morning tasks done on a daily basis. And then for my newborn, he's still young enough that he either will go back to sleep or I will wear him in a pack while I'm trying to get those tasks done in the morning. So that's how I manage that, but figure out something that will work for you and your kids. Third tip is to clean as you go throughout the day. And this one is so important because if you have young kids, I'm sure it's probably the same for you, but if I didn't clean as I went throughout the day, I feel like my house would be destroyed by the end of the day. There would be toys and food and diapers and clothes everywhere, and it would be very overwhelming to think of doing anything cleaning related and trying to keep up with anything because it would just kind of build up too fast. So I definitely recommend to try to clean as you go. For us, that is picking up toys as we're playing throughout the day, and that makes it a lot easier for my son to get involved with the cleanup as well, because it's a lot less overwhelming for him to just pick up one toy or activity and put it away rather than a whole room full of things to put away. So we try to kind of do a one in, one out rule as we're playing throughout the day. He picks something up and then he can get something new out. The other thing I do to kind of clean up as I go throughout the day is just wiping things down all the time, constantly wiping, and that really helps things not to build up. So what I mean by that is, since my child is only 2, I do wipe his hands and his face usually after every meal, And so I wipe his hands and his face with the washcloth, and then I use that same washcloth, I rinse it out, and I use it to wipe the table and his chair, and then often I'll even use it to wipe down and pick up any crumbs or mess off of the floor right there real quick as well. And then of course, I put that washcloth in the laundry hamper right away, and it gets washed before we use it again. But that allows me to not have like built up crusty messes on any of those places. And it's way faster to just wipe it up when it's, brand new fresh, and there's just one layer of mess instead of waiting till the end of the day or the end of the week and then trying to get all of that mess picked up. So wipe as you go as well. And then even with zone cleaning, I do kind of try to do that as I go throughout the days and weeks also. So an example of that would be my silverware drawer. When I'm putting away silverware out of the dishwasher, if the drawer needs to be wiped out and I'm, in that zone, I'll just take a minute, take everything out, wipe out the bottom of the drawer, reorganize, declutter anything that needs to be taken out, and put it back. And when I do it that way, it usually just takes me about 5 minutes to do that task because I'm already putting away silverware, if that makes sense. So that's just an example of what I mean. That is my third tip, is to just try to clean as you go, both with those daily tasks and with zone cleaning tasks also. My fourth tip is to use a timer and to actually listen to it, which that one is hard for me. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so I tend to want to keep going if I've started a task and I don't feel like it's all the way done. But as a mom, I found I really need to just set the timer and then stop when it goes off. So I do 1 hour of a weekly home blessing every week, and I do 15 minutes of zone cleaning pretty much every day. And I stop when the timer stops, and that has allowed me to really stop feeling overburdened with cleaning and to stop feeling like I'm just cleaning all the time and I'm never getting on top of it. And what I found is that even though I don't necessarily finish everything I wanted to get done in that time, the house still gets really clean over the course of several days or weeks. The house stays clean, it stays maintained. You don't have to put in hours and hours to have a clean house. You just have to be consistent with that small amount of time that you're putting in. So that is my fourth tip. My fifth tip is to plan for success. So I'm a big advocate of a paper planner. I use it for all sorts of different things in my life, but especially for FlyLady, I do use paper and pencil to plan it out. But whatever planning method you use, I definitely recommend planning out your FlyLady tasks. So for me, that means planning out the bigger projects and just assigning myself a couple projects to do each month. So those are things like big decluttering projects or big cleaning projects. I just choose 1 or 2, assign it to the month, and then assign the other ones to the following months. And that really helps me feel not overwhelmed by all of the different things I want to get done. Also with zone cleaning, I just try to make a realistic list at the beginning of the week of the zone cleaning tasks that I feel like are my top priority. And that way I'm not like starting off of a big master to-do list every week. I'm just focusing on the things that I need to get done in my home. And I just make a really realistic list that I think I'll be able to get done in that 15 minutes per day. And then last, I also track my progress with cleaning. Kind of after I've done it, I have a zone cleaning tracker where I just check off the different things I get done each week, each month. And that way I can see which things I did recently, which things I haven't done for a while, and that helps me to figure out what I need to do the following time that zone comes around. So definitely plan for success when you're doing the FlyLady system. So those are my top 5 tips. In general, just try to remember that the FlyLady system is a continuous process. There's no perfect end. It's not about perfection. It's more about just blessing your home and blessing your family on a day-to-day basis. And if you do that and you're consistent with it, your home is going to end up very clean and organized and a nice place to live. So I hope that these tips have helped you if you are a young mom out there too. And I better go get the little one. Sounds like he woke up, but I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you have any tips, definitely leave them in the box down below. I would love to check them out. and I'll chat with you guys down there. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.